Greetings. Today I want us to deal a bit with the case of the CIC, Commander-in-Chief of the Economic Freedom Fighters, Mr. Julius Malema, uh, dealing with his case regarding the firearm case. From the onset, on the previous video, I've already alluded to the fact that there are a lot of unprofessionalism and inconsistency or irreconcilable inconsistency from the part of the state or the part of judiciary in this case, actually, the magistrate, including that till to date, according to what Mr. Malema has told us, is that he has never received the judgment in writing. Of course, from the, our perspective, what is important is the verdict, whether it's guilty or not, and the sentencing. But for lawyers, the most important thing is the ratio decidendi. Ratio decidendi just means the reason for the outcome. Why did the magistrate arrive at a particular conclusion, or why did the judge arrive at a particular conclusion? It is more important actually than the verdict. So in this case, it means the lawyers of Mr. Malema, or the offender in this case, which is Mr. Malema, they are not sure about the reasons or why did the magistrate arrive at that conclusion. Obviously, lawyers will want to, or everybody who are into law will want to understand her reasoning, because there is a lot of mutual destructive reasoning there, that the person who handed over the firearm is acquitted, and the person who is the end user is found guilty. So it can mean two things. It means Mr. Malema had stolen the gun. If he did not steal the gun, it means someone has handed him the gun. The question is, does Mr. Malema have the authority to use that gun, and so on and so forth? And then that's where now the case becomes complicated. And then I think that's where now magistrate should deal with, and legally she should have by now sent those things to the lawyers of Mr. Malema. So, in my view, there is that irreconcilable inconsistency from her part, and then professionalism. I've already indicated previously that the fact that she took 3 days to read the judgment, it says a lot about her as a person, because I've given an example that if that is to be the case, it means the case of Master Senzo Meiwa, the murder case, it means it will take the whole year to read that judgment. But Mr. Malema, I think he has given her a weapon to use against him now, because on 2 occasions where I've heard him now impugning the judiciary, and then he's saying no, there's incompetency of the magistrate and so on, and racism and all of that. Now the problem with that is the magistrate can use that to say the defendant or the offender, not the defendant. So the offender never showed remorse even after being found guilty. And then what he did is to impugn the judiciary or the court. As a result, the court must stamp its authority and show that no one is above the law. And remember, the offender, which is Mr. Malema, in this case is not an ordinary member of the society. He's a leader of a political party which is represented in parliament, which is the 4th largest party actually. And then is also a member of JSC, Judicial Service Commission. So coupling all of those things will give her that courage to say, because he has not shown remorse and he has impugned the court, and his standing in society is an influential figure. Therefore, The court must stamp its authority, and that will justify the harshness of a sanction. The harshness of a sanction in this case can mean imprisonment of the offender, which is Mr. Julius Malema. My view is that he should have avoided to venture in those comments, to say when he's asked those questions, he would have simply said, the matter is under sub judice, will comment after everything and so forth, because now I think he has given the ammunition to the magistrate, obviously, because he's going to appeal, and obviously on appeal, when it is appealed, it's set aside the judgment. But it was going to be good if he was to be given a suspended sentence, so that even on appeal, he's already at a better advantage, because even if the appeal comes back and says we upheld the decision of the magistrate court, at least he's not going to prison. But if he messes up now and then magistrate says imprisonment, and he appeal, and then the high court comes back and says we are there's nothing wrong that magistrate has done, then he goes to the appeal courts, they come the same thing, constitutional court, then it means now he's doomed. He will have to save jail time. So it would have been better for fighters and Julius Malema as a person and his family to get a suspended sentence, so that even when he appeal, he's at a better position than knowing that if this appeal fail, I'm going to jail or I'm going to prison. But of course, there are a lot of grounds which put him at a better advantage on appeal. But anybody who's close and around him should advise him to not comment so much about a judge who's handling your case, because it creates that impression that you are impugning the judiciary and all of those things, and as a result, they will have to be harsh, and that action will be justifiable to be harsh on a leader of a society who seated a judicial service commission and then cast such a aspersion that the magistrate is racist and so on, because obviously that can be proven racism. But of course, there are a lot of things which are at play. I just want to end up by saying I wish him luck, and as a fighter myself, I feel the magistrate herself has done a lot of injustice to his case. However, I wish personally he shouldn't have said some of these things he said about her before she sentenced him, because is giving her the ammunition now to come out hard on him and send him to jail for that case. And then, but the best of luck to Mr. Malema and the entire family of the economic freedom fighters. Now, lastly, the question would be, if he is to be imprisoned, what does it mean? What is going to happen? Are we not going to lose life? Are we not going to see July unrest? It's those questions that, as South African, as patriots, we should ask ourselves. Are we not setting the country on fire? Notwithstanding that nobody is above the law, but I'm saying the magistrate should consider that in whichever judgment she's going to hand over on the 23rd of January 2026. Nonetheless, we wish him well and we keep him in prayer, and we so believe that God and the African gods will be with him to protect him. Salute.